Hey guys, this is Kerbin with Tape, and today you join me for another Fall of Kerbin extra video, looking at the tanks I'm preparing for World War II. Now hopefully these will be much more impressive than the Air Force I showed off, which many people have said is inferior to Penguins, which is true, but that is no longer the Air Force. It's been upgraded a lot. That was just kind of the first prototype, but I thought I might as well just mention that now because people have been commenting a lot, and I didn't want to do a whole other video pretty much just being like, it doesn't suck, look guys, I'm great. But yeah, basically, don't worry about it. We've the Kerthenian engineers are vastly improving everything, and you know, developing. It's called a development cycle, guys. Anyway, let's forget all that boring stuff. Now we're on tanks, and tanks are going to be way cooler in World War II because they have proper tank cannons most of the time. Whereas in World War I, obviously they had kind of flat cannons and 3-inch naval guns with limited yaw, which makes tank combat fairly sort of move forward at the target until the target is dead. Yeah, but now we have proper guns. So anyway, let's look at these. So there's 6 types of tanks. There's only 5 here because they're types of tanks are light tanks, tank destroyers, medium tanks, heavy tanks, super heavy tanks, and mobile AA guns. I haven't designed a mobile AA gun because I don't currently have naval artillery system installed, which adds AA guns, because I find that naval artillery system tends to sort of make the game crash quite a bit in build mode. I don't think it's that it crashes, it just seems to shoot the memory up quite a lot, and I only currently have 8 gigs of RAM, and it sort of feels that, so I don't know, man. I don't know what happened there, but anyway, so that's why I don't have the AA gun here. But that's just the boring one. That just shoots at aircraft. Anyway, let's look at these. So, the light tank. This is a light tank, and light tanks can have 1 layer of armor all around. They can have a 20mm fully articulating cannon like this, and nothing else really. So this is a fairly simple tank. It's pretty small. It's a little tall actually, which may make it pretty vulnerable when kind of hiding in trenches because we don't have people. So yeah, but anyway, on the inside it's fairly standard. It just has a bunch of fuel, a cockpit, and some more fuel, and an engine or a fuel cell. But let's call it an engine because then it sounds World War II-y. And this is just designed to be pretty fast. Just fairly fast. Just pretty fast. Has a fast-firing 20mm anti-tank cannon, which is actually pretty ridiculously fast-firing. We may want to talk about that with Penguin, but I'm not sure. It also would work quite well as an AA gun. It has a high kind of pitch range, and it fires very fast, and it fires 20mm shells, which are pretty deadly. And this is basically just to kind of either provide some AA defense when there are no AA guns around, and also to quickly nip in and do maybe reconnaissance or just sit on bases very cheaply, because we can launch 5 of these a turn. We can launch 4 tank destroyers, 3 medium tanks, 2 heavy tanks, or 1 super heavy tank. So this would be able to put a lot of these down to do various things, but they wouldn't be much good in combat. Maybe against a damaged tank, or if we were very tactical and managed to get some good shots in. But most of the time, this is just gonna be doing non-combat missions unless it really needs to, obviously. So anyway, let's move on to the tank destroyer. This, again, can have 1 layer of armor, but it can have a 105mm gun. However, it has to have a limited yaw range. So I'm using the howitzer right now from BD Armory. I'm pretty sure we included this in the weapons we're going to use, because BD Armory weapons are sometimes a little overpowered. But yeah. For a tank destroyer, you want a very powerful gun, so yeah, 105mm howitzer. It is a little fast-firing as well, but basically, these tanks are small. You can launch 4 of them a turn, and they can do a huge amount of damage to enemy tanks, but they can only fire forwards, so if you come behind them, you're basically screwed, because this literally has nothing to fire backward. So yeah, this probably would need some escort from medium or light tanks. It's also probably a bit of a bomb target, but it is pretty small. And it's fairly simple again. On the inside, it's just fuel cells, fuel. There's some cannon shells up there, and obviously the cockpit. But the tank cannon is pretty good. It's a tank destroyer, so if I shoot at this light tank, it just kind of wrecks it a little bit. Actually, the light tank standed up pretty well to that. Holy shit, I'm great at things. Not great at tank destroyers, but great at light tanks. Let's fire again. Yeah, fire at the back. What is going on? This is fine. Seriously, it should at least be heated up, right? That's surprising to me. Before, when I've tried this, it's been a little more impactful. I'm going to try and get it in the wheel arch. Missed. Oh, good job, me. Let's try again. Come on. Come on, tank destroyer. Show your worth. There we go. Yeah, if you hit armor, this is a high explosive shell, so it won't do a ton. But I think if you get it in a gap or hit underneath it or something like that, it does some... Oh my god. Holy crap. That's more than I thought it would do. Very surprising time. Yeah, so you can see it's pretty much ripped it off. This is actually still alive because my tanks are designed very well, of course. So it could still actually shoot back probably, but it won't. Anyway, let's move on to the medium tank because we have some other stuff we want to get to, like actually urban combat, because that's going to be a big thing, because there are cities, as you know, and we are approaching each other's cities. Penguin probably quicker than mine. And there will be combat in cities, so we need to prepare for that, and we're going to look at a little demo of that in a bit. Now, you can imagine that a tank destroyer wouldn't be great in urban combat because of the... Well, because obviously stuff can get behind it, but it could also pretty much deny access to an entire street, and you just need something else behind it defending it from sneaking around. So yeah, but anyway, medium tanks next. I think this will be kind of the master of the cities, because it is fast, it is small, and against heavy tanks, a lot of the time I've had success just because I'm moving a lot and I'm firing a 76mm gun, which is a pretty powerful gun. So yeah, as I said, this has a 76mm gun. It also has a 50 caliber machine gun for maybe cleaning up wounded tanks or shooting up planes on the runways, kind of that sort of thing. It also has 2 layers of armor at the front and 1 layer of armor all around. This one's a little janky right now. You can see there's a lot of seams and things. I'm going to clean it up a little. The back looks a bit horrible, and I would also like to tuck this wheel in there as well. This doesn't have wheels all along like the tank destroyer because it needs to carry some stuff here. It's supposed to be quite small, so it's very hard to hit, and that's reflected in the smaller cockpit it's using. Not the very tank-looking one, but it is, yeah, it's a cockpit. So anyway, yeah. So this will be, I think, probably the most frequently launched tank. And because we can launch 3 of these a turn, they have 76mm guns and some machine guns. I found them very effective in all kinds of combat. Obviously against a heavy tank on the kind of long flat ground, it's going to be just ruined. But I find that, yeah, this will be a very useful tank, especially for taking cities. So anyway, other than that, pretty boring. Let's move on to the heavy tank, of which we can launch 2 per turn, and it can have a 152mm anti-tank gun and a 50 caliber machine gun. I've gone for the derp gun because it has a 152mm round. It's a little inaccurate, but it has a decent rate of fire, and it has a pretty serious punch, as you can see. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. I think we did some pretty decent damage there. Is this still alive? The Kerbal's still alive, so we can be happy about that. But yeah, not a lot of tank left, but it was damaged anyway. Anyway, so yeah, you can see that this is just a massive tank. It's a little too big right now. I'm probably going to bring it down. I'm also going to change the wheel arches to be much like their super heavy tank because this looks a little janky. I was going for something, but it didn't really work. But yeah, we'll probably change that up a little bit. It's also pretty much the same size, other than this bit of their super heavy tank. Has the same chassis and everything, so I may change that a little bit, bring this down and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty much just, you can launch 2 of these a turn, so this could be a pretty deadly thing. I mean, not much survives against a 152mm round. I have had some success with my tanks, with my medium tanks, because the way I've built the slightly bigger tanks is much better than I used to build tanks. I'm not going to give it away too much because Penguin will be watching this. But basically, they can absorb a lot of gunfire and lose a lot of panels and still be okay. Well, not okay, but alive and still firing. So that's quite good. But because these are 152mm rounds, they tend to flip tanks. So I think they should probably stop anything that Cruolans throw at us because they'll just be thrown back to Cruola. And then chased by our tanks, of course. Yeah, and then on the insides it's fairly standard. You can just see that it's... Oh, the armor's quite nice actually, because this can have 2 layers of armor all around and 3 on the front. You can see that it has 2 layers of armor here, and just on the inside it has another layer of armor here, which is quite nice. So you can blast through this and there'll still be armor. But it's quite hard to blast through this. I've been firing some 76mm armor piercing rounds, which is what these fire. At this, and a lot of them just bounce off, and just a really, really good job by Tetrids. I think that's the guy who did this, who also made Aviator Arsenal. But these turrets, by the way, are from old school turrets, And it's really cool. Like, you'll see sometimes you'll be firing these 76mm rounds at this, and they'll just bounce off, and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. But yeah, it's fairly standard on the inside. I'm not gonna look at it too much because I don't want to give away too much. But you can see there's some ammo, there's cockpits, and the fuel, and all of that stuff. Yeah, I don't want to give away my secrets to the crew. But yeah, there's not much to see. It's just, you know, fuel and stuff. Anyway, onto the super heavy tank. You may be looking at this and be thinking, wow, that's amazing. You're amazing, Peter. And you would be right, I am amazing. But yeah, this is a super heavy tank. The rules for this are pretty cool. They can have 3 layers of armor all around. They can have 2 152mm anti-tank cannons, and they can have a 20mm anti-aircraft cannon. This doesn't currently have the anti-aircraft gun because, like I said, I don't have naval artillery system installed just because it makes it less crashy when I'm building. So yeah, but usually it would probably have like a dual mount 20mm cannon mounted here or something. But yes, as I said, the main thing about this is it has 2 152mm derp guns, and when you fire them in a barrage mode, you get 16 rounds per minute, which is insane. We may bring that back a little, but because I think these are quite inaccurate, I think that's probably fairly fair for a super heavy tank, because you can only launch 1 of these per turn, and it'll wreck your shit. I've had some times where I've been able to kind of beat this with a smaller tank by kind of circling a lot and kind of getting out of the way of its fire. But against this, like when it hits you so frequently, you're fucked. And yeah, the armor again, it's done so that there's 2 kind of solid panels back here and some slanted armor here to kind of deflect high velocity shells. The same here. We don't want armor piercing rounds getting in. The box up here is fairly flat, but it's got 3 layers of armor here and 3 layers of armor here. Down here on the wheel arch, the armor's pretty thin, but behind that here we've got 2 layers of armor, so it's just armored like crap. There are a couple of weak spots which I'm going to try and patch up. You can see there's a small one here, which I really shouldn't have pointed out, but we'll patch that up. Maybe just with some smaller panels. Kind of shrink them down. It'll be less effective, but it will be more effective than nothing, and I don't think that's cheating if it's thinner armor. And back here you can see, to avoid kind of armor cheating, I've had to slide this one down, so there's a small weak spot here, because you can't really overlap armor because that's a little bit cheaty. But anyway, those are the tanks. Now, let's go and do a couple of scenarios in the Kerbal cities. I'm going to have to go and install Kerbal cities because apparently I also took that out to save on RAM while building. But yeah, we're going to go and have a look at a few scenarios. Okay guys, so here we are at the scenario. We have a medium tank back here and a light tank up front, and we are driving through a city hunting down an enemy heavy tank. And yeah, basically the way combat's going to work is we are not going to have vessel labels on. We are going to have a vague idea of where the enemy tanks are, but there will be a real possibility to surprise the enemy. So a tank destroyer, obviously, if you knew where it was exactly, you'd just be like, oh, I'll go down this street and get behind it and shoot it, or just flank around this hill and that much, but you won't be able to tell where it is, so it can just jump out and hit you with a 105mm round. So anyway, obviously, I do know where the vehicle is because I placed it and it's pretty close, but but yeah, anyway, so we have these on burn together, I believe, and if I'm lucky, this will work quite nicely. So, we're just going to drive down this street, looking down the streets, pointing the gun. I should probably have the medium up front, right, because it has the serious gun. Doesn't look like there's anything down there, but yes, this is the Kerbal Cities pack, by the way. At some point I should probably do a full-on mod list with links. There is a mod list in some of the early episodes of Fall of Kerbin. I'll try and find a link to this, but it's kind of hard to find. But basically you need Kerbal constructs and Kerbin side to use it. Okay, nothing down here. Could be something lurking. What about down this street? Is there anything down here? Nope, nothing. That's a long street. You can see all the way out of the city. The cities aren't massive, but they're pretty big. So you might be hunting tanks for quite a while. Is there anything down here? Anything? No, nothing over there. Okay. Alright. We'll keep an eye on this street. Okay. I'm on... Oh my god! There's a heavy tank! Return fire! Oh jeez, I'm just gonna put this on guard mode. Oh my god. Oh jeez. Oh god. Okay, quickly! Back it up! Open fire! Oh my god. Oh shit, we're taking fire. Brakes, brakes, brakes. Okay. this has gone horribly. Okay, get back into range. This light tank is going to distract from this heavy tank, which totally got the drop on me. I totally didn't know it was there. Oh, it's fucked. Okay, well, you keep firing at that. We're going to take this. I'm going to turn burn together off. Oh my god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, it's driving. Don't drive. Oh god, it's freaking out. It doesn't know what to do. It's trying to follow the tank that's flipped. BT off. Okay. Luckily, that's nice and distracted now. I'd say it was distracted, but it actually just looks dead. But it looks like we may have done some damage to the heavy tank. Okay, we're going to try. We can't back up. We're stuck on a curb. Oh, god damn. Okay, it looks like we're going this way. We're going to try and sneak around. Okay, I wonder if it did any damage. It has a 20mm very fast-firing cannon, so it may have. Okay. Looks like one of our wheels is jammed up as well. I guess that's just poor design choices. Oh, yeah, it's wrecked. Okay, we're going to sneak around. We're going to try and go as fast as possible. And score a hit. It's not dead. Oh, it's flipped up, though. Yeah, this is the problem, is when the parts get underneath. Oh, my god. Oh, no, we're taking fire. We're taking fire. But if I can get behind it... Oh, it's really annoying. My wheels are jammed up. If they weren't, this would be way easier. I think the curb fucked them. Goddamn curb. Okay, I've got to get behind this building. Slowly as hell. Okay, we're taking fire. Oh, the high explosive shell that it fired knocked it back. Okay, we're doing well. Oh, this was actually a bit of a shambles. I thought this would be way cooler, but it just freaked out and everything went wrong. Yeah, it looks like we've done some damage. The underbelly just has one layer of armor, so now it's flipped up. Not bad. Yeah, so you can see, with a little bit of tacticalness and a lot of luck, you can survive. Oh yeah, look, yeah, you can see this has got a nice hole in the side, but luckily, because of my amazing design methodology, it's alive. That's pretty good. Let's try that again, though. I'm going to see if the wheels are naturally jammed up, because they haven't been in the past, but it's a little panicky on this new Chaos Penis. I said Chaos Penis. I didn't mean it to. Oh, I'm a child. Chaos Penis. Yeah, the wheels are actually fine. It was just the curb. Okay. I'm just so happy. Chaos Penis. Oh, I'm a child. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. We don't know where that is. Anyway, alright, let's go down there. My plan is drive right past and flank it. Okay? I'm actually gonna take the light tank way the heck down there. Does this have its brakes off? No. Maybe that was it. Were my brakes on? Probably. I'm not very good at my job. What? What? Why didn't you follow me, bro? Why do you want to come with me, bro? There's a heavy tank down there, bro. I don't want to die, bro. Oh, it isn't set as leader. Set as leader. Medium tank, set as follower. This will follow. Yeah. For Penguin's video on this, actually, you should definitely watch it, because it's probably going to be a little cooler. I didn't have time to do this, but I'm probably going to drop some of either my tanks or his tanks randomly in the city, and he's actually going to have to hunt them. This is more just a kind of basic demonstration. Oh, yeah, steering's inverted. But, yeah, but you'll see kind of a more tense scenario in his. Okay, going to just turn guard mode on. And we're going to race down this street with the medium tank in tow. This is going to head on down there. I'm going to have release followers right up. These seem to be much less squirrely than the World War I tanks as well. Maybe it's because we're on flat ground, though. These streets are really nicely paved. Kerthenian streets. Actually, this is just this default city next to the KSC. But yeah, okay. Okay. Here it is. Release followers. Is guard mode on? Release. How do I don't know how. I'm just going to turn this off. Okay, you do that. Medium tank. Go, go, go! Go, go, Gadget Steve! Oh, it's actually doing pretty well. What's happening? Oh my god. Okay, quickly, there's no time. Yeah, that buggers the wheels. Yeah, these curbs really fuck the wheels. Wow, okay. I think this may have just totally got fucked. Okay, but while it's firing there, we're going to get it in the wheel arch. Totally missed. And this isn't a high explosive shell, so it's armor piercing. Oh, look, we've got a hole. Okay, fire! Fire! Oh god! Make it more interesting. Don't be close enough that the high explosive shells just destroy itself. Ha! Oh, I've backed into a wall. Oh, I'm fucked. You can see that we've hacked through some armor, but... Oh my god. You can also make... Oh, okay, it freaked out. This armor's crazy. Try and get a shot underneath. Nope. Get it in the gun. Wow, this is a durable tank. This is very well made. Whoever made this was incredibly smart. I don't know who they were, but they were amazing. Obviously, I made it. Okay, yeah, we can't do that much damage to the internals without high explosive shells. Oh my god. Oh god, it's coming at me. Shoot it in the top! Oh, we did shoot it in the top. Oh no, it's going to get me point blank with a derp gun. What's firing? What is that? Oh, it's the light tank. Still alive. See you later, fucker. Oh god. Oh, my tank cannon's not pointing the right... Oh no, come on, come on. I don't want to be shot point blank with a derp gun. Suck a dick. It's going to shoot me. I kind of actually want to see what happens when you get shot point blank with a derp gun. But I think it's broken. Hey, we won again. Good for us. Oh, my light tank backed up. What the hell? It just totally backed up. Hey, we kicked ass. See, anyway, so this was a demonstration that in scenarios like this, heavy tanks may not be the best thing to use. Now, maybe we should switch this around. Maybe I should drive the heavy tank. See what happens, because it might just be a matter of if I can move, it's a little easier. Obviously, I also had 2 tanks to distract it, but hey, I'm having fun, so let's just drive the heavy tank, see what happens. Maybe if it was a super heavy, it would have wasted that thing quicker, but anyway. Okay, so we've got a bit of a square here, actually. I didn't really notice. We're just going to use Vessel Mover, very useful mod for stuff like this, to put them down here. And let's see what happens. These cities are quite nice. They're fairly, grey and a bit, A lot of the rooftops have SpaceX landing pads on them. I don't know what that's about, but maybe it's a kind of... Maybe that's what Amazon's drone delivery will become. Shit. Got caught in a building. Seriously, I've said this a lot, but the modding scene in KSP is insane. Like, seriously. Like, props to all you modders. It's crazy what you do. It's insane. Anyway, vessel switcher open. And we're going to see if I can maneuver a heavy tank down the street. I'm a little disappointed that the curbs just wreck wheels. Because obviously we can't use tracks because we don't have... Yeah, you're going to say give it treads or something stupid, aren't you? But we can't use treads because there's... I don't think there's ever going to be a Kerbal Foundries for this version of KSP, which kind of sucks. Anyway, obviously we know exactly where it's going. Also in the future, these wheels will be tucked in a little more, so we'll have a slightly easier job maneuvering around cities. They'll be tucked in like the super heavy tank. Yeah. These curbs, man. They're the bane of my life. Anyway, let's ready the 152mm derp gun for some point blank shooting. I guess I could come up behind them, but that would be a little shitty because obviously in real life we wouldn't know that. Obviously, you could accidentally come up behind a lot of tanks a lot. So putting a tank destroyer in certain positions is a pretty big gamble actually, because a tank destroyer can't fire backwards. You should definitely have backup tanks with it. Alright, obviously I'm going to know exactly where they are, so I'm just going to come around the corner firing. And... Kablamo, bitch! I think I just killed them, but I destroyed the light tank. Holy shit! The light tank's often more durable than that, but it seems like the medium tanks... Is it not firing? Oh, see, the problem with this mod is it turns its gun away when it's not firing, which I find makes it a little problematic. Fuck you! I have very low rate of fire. I'm just going to try and get behind... Oh, I can't drive off this curb, can I? Fuck. Fire! Fire, please! Please! I don't want to die here! Please fire. Oh, it's because I've got my mouse too low. Okay. Put it in the side. This is a durable tank. It just took a direct hit from a high explosive shell while not, like, avoiding, and it's still alive. Medium tank's really good. I'm liking it. I think it's a good tank. Come on, die! I think I hit it again, did I? I can't see, there's too much smoke and fire. Wow, we've got a really big hole in the front of our tank. Armor piercing, man. Fire, please fire, die. Oh god, there we go. And I think it just went up. Yeah, okay, so if I'm driving this, I think the advantage again will go to the attacker, but as we learn more... Oh my god. Only just, though. Like, armor piercing is going to fuck them up. You can see there's a few beams holding up this, which I think may have caught some bullets. But yeah, so, medium tank in ruins. Destroyed. Actually, doing pretty good chassis-wise. Light tank proto. Took one hit. Not even fired at it. Ruined. And the heavy tank starts to fall apart a little bit. We got a lot of stuff hanging out of this, and if this were attacked again, pretty bad. It didn't... Medium tank did a pretty good job. I was kind of hoping the light tank could survive longer, but it is one of the cases where it's quite small, so it's hard to do, like, kind of armor where you can see this has a beam, so it kind of all falls apart. But yeah, this is flipped over now. But yeah, you can see the city now. Yeah, the problem with that is it's all basically one piece, and there's like certain bits you can just destroy everything. But yeah, you can see this is how the cities will look. There are 2 different variants of the cities. This is just the one next to the KFC. But yeah, there will be some urban combat. Obviously, it won't all be urban combat. I just thought that was the interesting thing to show. Heavy tanks, I think, will be much better in the field, where you can imagine that if they were sitting on top of a hill and you had like multiple kilometers, you'd be pretty screwed. But even close up, you can see they're pretty effective. Although medium tanks, if they're moving and maybe in a squad, can take these down. So it could be a very balanced war. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're looking forward to Fall of Kerbin World War II as much as I am. And I promise my Air Force will be better. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you want to go check out a couple more, there's a video I did a couple of days ago, which was the first episode of Road to Colonization, the follow-up to Road to Exploration, and we build a big air station and leave Ike. There's also a video I did a while ago on Pixel Junk Shooter Ultimate, which is just such a fun game. It was just a bunch of fun, which you go check out. There's also links to my Twitter, Twitch, and Patreon in the description if you're interested. But as always, I hope you've enjoyed this. This has been KSP with Tape. I'll see you next time.